So I would be completely lying if I tried to come off as a consistent reader of books right now. Honestly, I'm very bad at it. I'm not a good reader. I can't tell you the last time I actually started and finished a book without massive weeks, months, sometimes years in between reading sessions. However, these 4 books in particular I have read, and not only have I read them, I've reread them and I reference back to them on sometimes a daily basis. And I can pretty confidently say they've all played some role or part in helping me develop into a better person and a better creative. Keep Going by Austin Kleon is a really great reference to develop creative skills when things are going great and when things aren't going so great. This book explains a lot about how creativity comes in seasons. Sometimes you'll be overflowing with ideas and sometimes you'll struggle to even grasp onto the lowest hanging fruit. This book gives 10 really tactical pieces of advice to help in both of those seasons. So whenever ideas are going great, these tips are gonna help you become even better, and when things aren't going so great, they're gonna help you continue to produce work.
Relying on craft and routine is a lot less sexy than being an artistic genius, but it is an excellent strategy for not going insane.
Personally, most of my life, I always pushed away from having a structured schedule and calendar. I thought schedules were for old people and I didn't need that. I was a spontaneous, all over the place artist. And once you've been working for a while, you realize that's not a good way to live your life. It's a good way to go insane. And I have a system where whenever I'm going to sleep at night, I try and plan out what the next day is gonna look like. I try and build out what that schedule is. And I find the more detailed and organized I am with that schedule, the happier I end that day. I just feel more accomplished. I feel like I've been able to do more, and then I've moved the needle forward. Next up is It's All in Your Head by Russ. And yes, that is Russ, the rapper, who I'm a big fan of. And as soon as I heard that he had written a book, I had to immediately grab it. And it really stems all around mindset. And mindset can be the most deadly weapon as a creative. It's easy to stand in your own way of getting things done. And this book acts for me as a course corrector. Whenever I find myself slipping into that zone of overthinking too much or feeling like I'm lost on the path, usually a chapter or 2 of this book can realign things.
Get obsessed with the idea of a better you. The process of getting better is the fun part. That's why I keep working. The idea that there's always an upgraded version of myself that can be obtained is what keeps me going.
I think it's easy to forget to continue working on yourself, trying to become the best version of yourself that you can. I find that I try and treat my life a lot like a video game oftentimes, where I want to level up and just become a better person and a better creative. And this book for me has given just like a really good foundation and blueprint for attacking life in that way and trying to constantly make yourself better. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. And The Obstacle is the Way has become a total cult classic. In the short amount of years it's been out. This book holds a collection of lessons and stories about how things are gonna get in your way. Shit is gonna go wrong at some point.
It's okay to be discouraged. It's not okay to quit.
I remember when I had first moved to New York, I was doing an internship at VaynerMedia, and it was looking like I was gonna be getting a full-time job there, which is what I wanted. And then I received a very polite email that told me I did not have a job and that my last day was quickly approaching. To me, that initially felt like a massive failure, but that obstacle in turn actually became the catalyst for me reaching out to Gary and ultimately landing a job directly with him, which facilitated the next chapter of my life.
It's like, I'm Babin from Tallahassee. We should start a brand right now. Right now. Bobby Babin's beef jerky.
No matter what you're striving for in life, there are going to be massive walls, massive obstacles that fall in front of you at probably the worst possible time. So often the things that appear to be game enders are actually just a mild change in direction if you're willing to work with it. And on the note of my internship at VaynerMedia, on my first day, I was given the book Rework. And this is a super short and straightforward book around tackling challenges both in the business and creative world. There are literally countless lessons packed into this book. However, for me, one of the biggest things I took from it was the openness and willingness to change your mind.
If circumstances change, your decisions can change. Decisions are temporary.
So for me, this quote was one of my biggest takeaways from this book, and it's something that I try and think about on a really regular basis. I know that I'm definitely guilty, and I'm sure lots of us are guilty as humans and creatures of ambition, that we will focus so intently on the end goal of a project that we forget it's okay to change our minds. And the thing that we thought we wanted so badly at one point in life doesn't have to be that thing forever. There was definitely a point a couple years ago where the only thing I was focused on was creating travel content. And I thought that travel content was the only thing I wanted to do, and I kept working towards that. And it wasn't until I realized I actually just like more in-depth storytelling whenever I get to these places I was traveling to, that I had to make a big adjustment in overall the type of videos I was making, the structure of how those videos were coming together, the way I was planning them and producing them. Because for me, the thing that was so much more interesting was telling stories of people that were in different places I was traveling to, and less the structure of me telling the story of me going to this place. I've linked all of these books down in the description so you can pick them up if you would like. Given the circumstances of the world, this is sort of a really great time to be working on mindset and learning new skills and becoming a better person, so that when we're on the other side of everything that's going on right now, we'll be better people. Also, let me know down in the comments what books you guys think I should read. I'm trying to get better at reading this year, and now that I've got a lot of spare time, I want to dig into some new stuff. Let me know what you guys think, and I hope these books make as big of an impact on your life that they have on mine.